Today we're going to be comparing two Flairs. We're going to be comparing the Flair Classic and the Flair Signature. But first off, I just want to say thank you for watching Cabin's Coffee Corner. This channel is designed to help you choose the coffee gear you want to brew with at home. I ask that you please like and subscribe this video. This helps me produce good content, and you're not going to want to miss what's coming next. I'm having a full week of Flairs, comparing all these different things about Flairs. And if you have any questions, please drop those in the comments and let me know below. If you're looking at purchasing one of these, please use the links in the description where I'll make a slight commission at no extra charge to you. This helps fund my channel and fund more reviews for you. I also have an Instagram account called Cabin's Coffee Corner that you're more than welcome to follow. Let's go ahead and dive into it, and we're going to go over these features. So first thing I want to note is this is an older classic model. So the frame looks slightly different, and this will be red on the classic models versus the gold that it has here. But other than that, the plastics might be a little different colors, things like that, and the rubbers. But other than that, it works the same. The features are the same from this model to the newer models out there. So we have the Flair Classic here, which is going to be the second cheapest one that Flair currently sells. And then we have the Flair Signature, which is going to be slightly more expensive than the Classic, but it's going to have a few extra features on there. So I want to start off by mentioning that these frames both collapse right here. So if you simply detach this by unscrewing the bolt, if you have the bolt in there, it folds up and it goes into a little travel case like this. So both of them are just as travel friendly as the other on it. When it comes to buying a Flair Classic, one of the things you might be considering is if you want to buy the Pro. The Pro, I will be reviewing and comparing that along with these two in a future video, so please subscribe, check that out. But one of the things looking at if you're buying one of these things used is this is the older model here, and I'm going to see if I can lift this up for you. And if you look right here, this is a little bit smaller and it has more flat edging right here, which shows that this is the older model that is not compatible with the Flair Pro 2. This part goes up just a little bit here, and it comes with this black ring. Once you remove this black ring, this base is the exact same as the Flair Pro 2 minus the grip on top here, and can be used with the entire brew head on there. That's just one thing I wanted to mention here to make sure that was clear on here. So with these, you both have the 2-in-1 portafilter on the bottom here, which is allow you to view the bottom of your portafilter so you can see if there is squirting and things like that. But it also has a spout option so you can have a clean shot every single time. The features that you get with this over the Classic is this stainless steel tamper and this pressure gauge right here. Everything else is the same. You get the same plastic funnel and tamper. You get the dosing cup and tamper in the funnel here. That's going to be the same from side to side, but you get the pressure gauge, you get the tamper, and you get an upgraded, which has no effect on your shot quality whatsoever. You remove this plastic piece and you have this 2-in-1 Flair stainless steel drip tray, which I'm going to be honest, for a lot of reasons, I do like the plastic drip tray better. I think that's kind of a personal preference on things. One of the reasons I like it is because it has a little indent here to show where a cup is supposed to be placed that's on the center of it. Granted, I don't typically have too much of a problem, and it's not a big deal with this one. It rattles a little bit and it doesn't have that centerpiece. And I never really actually use the drip tray because coffee does not often go down in there anyway the way I brew. So that's not too big of an issue here. But overall, this has the new Flairs also have this matte finish versus the stainless, versus the kind of more glossy finish, and the gold is a little matte finish now. They kind of changed it, just tweaked it a little bit for production purposes. So basically you're paying for 3 extra things with this. You're paying for these 3 things, and is it worth it? Is it worth going and spending from extra money from this to get this? I would say 100%. And my thought, there's a lot of Flairs out there now. All of them have their pros and their cons. But if I was choosing between these two, it's 100% worth the extra money to get the pressure gauge and the stainless steel tamper. There's nothing wrong with the little plastic tamper, but it just doesn't feel as nice than this tamper here. But the real money is at the pressure gauge. The pressure gauge is really going to let you dial in your shots the way you want it to be. I started off with this thing 4 years ago, and then as Flair released new products and new things, when I first got this, the pressure gauge did not even exist and it wasn't even a thing. I pulled great shots with the Flair. I was happy with the Flair. It was a good time. I didn't have any large beef. I was new into the specialty coffee world and buying things with roast dates and all that stuff on there. And this really got me started, and it got me started, in my opinion, really, really well. The downside is I didn't know how bad my shots were until I got a pressure gauge. Like, the pressure gauge made a world of a difference on consistency because I could see that I was actually hitting the 6 to 9 recommended bars of pressure versus I kind of just had to guess in prior years when I was just pulling down the lever on there. So I would say, like, if you really, really want to get into this, which in my eyes, if you want to get into this, you're going to choose this one at least over the Neo because it at least helps you figure out the grind settings you need and doesn't have that pressurized portafilter. You can check out some of the other videos to explain more about that. So if you're already looking at not having that pressurized portafilter, if you really want to get true consistent shots, the pressure gauge is going to make a day and night difference on the quality of your shots coming out of it. And I think it's worth every penny to add that in there. It might be a little up there more on price than this one. In fact, it is. But it's still worth every single penny, and I wouldn't, like, if I were doing this again and I was choosing between these two Flairs, and this was just a little out of my budget to get these extra accessories, man, do some DoorDash, do something, like, prioritize it. Like, most people, I would say, have the money to get what they want. They just choose to spend it on other things. And if you're trying to get into espresso and you already have the budget to get one of these, I would make it a priority to see if you could get the pressure gauge, because I think that will make a difference in your shot quality, and I think you'll be happier if you do that. If you have any questions, if you have any comments, please let me know below in that section, the comment section, and I'd love to help you answer those questions. My goal is to be an aid to you in helping choose the gear you want to brew with at home. And again, I ask that you please subscribe because I have more Flair content coming that you're not going to want to miss out. That's going to give a whole overview of every single Flair that exists and which one you should buy and why. Spoiler alert, each Flair is made for a different person, and I don't think you'll regret choosing to go the route of Flair. So thank you for watching.